All right, the majority of questions that I get each day are really centered around understanding how branding works. So let's see if we can help make it a little clearer. Branding is the choice any business or individual makes to stake out a specific turf so that their value proposition is as easily understood by their target audience as possible. So let me kind of break that down, and I'm going to use cars because they're a really easy group to understand because everybody's familiar with them. All cars are virtually the same in the sense that you put your people and your products in them, your suitcases, your groceries, your whatever, and it takes you from point A to point B. None of them fly, none of them go in the water, none of them are super special in any regard in that sense. And I'm a car guy, so it's really hard for me to say that. But nonetheless, that's true. Volvo, however, decided to stake out the turf of safety. If you want to think about a car that has assigned itself to the idea that they are the safest car in the road, Volvo is the place that you're going to go because they chose that. In fact, that's not true. Volvo isn't the safest car on the road. Mercedes-Benz owns that. But Mercedes-Benz wanted the island called luxury. That's the thing that organization really believes that it can get behind and stand behind. Porsche and BMW live in the performance world, and Prius and Tesla and the rest of them are sort of save the world one gas tank at a time. All of these cars have the ability to speak to other attributes. They can talk about their luxurious appointments. They can talk about their technology. They can talk about whatever, but they don't. And the reason that they don't try to serve multiple masters, we're this and we're that and we're something else and we're something, is because that's super confusing to consumers. Every single business can benefit from this structure called branding. And so branding is about making a conscious and well-informed choice about which of those islands of specificity to own so that they can become reputable for supporting that thing. So, if you want funny, you're not going to go to Meryl Streep, you're going to go to Eddie Murphy because Eddie Murphy owns the brand concept called funny. If you want serious, if you want great insight into acting, if you want phenomenal depiction, then you're going to go to a Meryl Streep because the craft she brings to her characters is known for that kind of deep introspection and insight and the development of those kinds of robust characters. Similarly, businesses structure themselves so as to create momentum with a particular target audience. Now, the question then comes back to how do you pick which target audience is the right one to go after? Ultimately, that's a question of consumer insight. And that's a whole ball of wax that we can get into at a later point in time. What you need to understand is that the businesses that choose to stand for one thing, Volvo is safety, Harley-Davidson is freedom, Disney is recapturing the magic of childhood, wonder, in other words, Nike is about progress. Those businesses that choose that and then tell their story, by that I mean all of their sales and marketing efforts, through the lens of that thing that they are doing, and then structure all the other pieces, all those other things that they want to talk about underneath that big one concept. Those are the ones that generate the greatest reputation with consumers. They're the ones that generate the greatest momentum in terms of growth and scale. And they're the ones that crush their competitors in the marketplace because consumers have the easiest time relating to the stories because they're opting in to the one thing. If I'm a Porsche person and I'm all about performance, then when I see a car company like Porsche that talks about there is no substitute and they're all about the heritage of performance or whatever, I get all bajiggity because that's the thing that's tripping my personal trigger. But if I'm a person that wants to save the world one gas tank at a time and I want to get 100 miles to the gallon to reduce my personal carbon footprint on the world, Porsche couldn't tell their performance story in a way that would excite me. I want to go over to the Prius or Tesla world where I know that I am making a conscious decision to reduce the impact that I'm having on the world due to my purchase choice. When brands try to serve multiple masters, they lose consumers because consumers like to be able to say that thing, that brand stands for this one idea, and that's why I align with them. Every single business in the world has the ability to make this conscious decision. startup to billion-dollar organization. Most don't, but the ones that do dominate their categories every single time. So small and medium-sized businesses and even startup companies that have true appetite for growth would be wise to work with an organization that can help them identify what and why that story is real for them, and then help them align all of their sales, marketing, product development, service development, hires, etc. around that one entity, so that they can become as known for it and as proficient in delivering it as humanly possible, because the reward is brand loyalty, customer loyalty, and dominance in the marketplace.